Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to have Congressman Greg Walden. And Congressman, great to see you.
Good to be here.
All right, so let's talk first where we stand right now in regards to cash-strapped timber payments in those counties. Will those counties get help?
We're hoping so. There's a one-year extension in the transportation reauthorization bill that's currently being negotiated between the House and the Senate. If that provision stays in there, Jackson County, for example, would get $7.2 million next year instead of $230,000. So it's a big deal. We know it. Last meeting I had in Washington on Friday was with the chairman of the Resources Committee, who's a conferee. We're all in, trying to make sure it stays in.
Okay. What about jobs not related to timber?
Jobs not related to timber. We're doing a lot of work in the high-tech area. As you know, I chair the Communications and Technology Subcommittee. The spectrum legislation that got incorporated in other legislation at the beginning of the year would create some 400 to 700,000 jobs as part of the 4G build-out. Lots of high-tech here in Southern Oregon. The Chamber of Commerce and Ashland had a big meeting a week or so ago, and you really begin to realize how much is going on in the high-tech world. And so there's opportunities, if we continue to do our part in the Congress, to free up the spectrum. That's what we use to all our devices communicate with, and we're working on that. So there's a lot of things we can do. And backing off on the regulations. I met with Adroit Construction this morning down in Ashland. And they just detail out all these regs and rules and holdups they get from the federal government on different things and different ways these programs are out there and the regulations. It's really suppressing job growth. I met with craft brewers in Bend yesterday, and I know we got a craft brew industry growing up here. Just the labeling restrictions the government has, months to get a label approved, and then they argue about the typeface and what color you put on your label. Do we really need government bureaucrats arguing about color on beer labels? We got too much government.
Fascinating. All right. Well, Senator Walden is pushing hemp to possibly help local counties who are struggling because of these timber payments. Is that something you think is possible, and would you support it?
Well, first I heard about it was earlier today. I find it intriguing because Governor Jerry Brown opposed even pilot projects on hemp, and President Obama's own national drug czar opposes the concept. So I haven't gotten into the weeds on it yet. Little pun there. But, I think there's more issues there to be worked through.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Much more with Congressman Walden in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Congressman Greg Walden. Congressman, Senator Ron Wyden announced he will block the extension of the FISA Amendments Act of 2008, saying he doesn't support warrantless searches. Are you behind him?
I don't know all that he's involved in. I do know that President Obama's the Director of National Intelligence says reauthorizing FISA is one of the most important legislative objectives we have to thwart terrorism. I know that the head of the FBI also believes that, and so I'm troubled by the hold that he's put on this bill, because we do have real live terrorist threats in this country. We know that there's a court set up specially designed to deal with these issues in a classified setting, which is what we want. And virtually everything in the law are techniques that we already use to go after mobsters and drug dealers. We now are applying those to terrorists. And, we've protected citizens' habeas corpus rights. Virtually all of this applies to non-citizens. And I'll tell you, the threat's real. We know it every day. We see it. We hear about it from the shoe bombers to others. And I think we have to be absolutely on game and make sure our men and women who are defending our country have the tools they need, have the access to the intelligence they need to prevent attacks. It's worked so far to protect us, and so he must have a good reason for putting a hold on it, and I'll look forward to hearing what it is. Okay,
we have just 30 seconds left, but you keep taking on more responsibility. How do you manage your time?
I manage it in a lot of ways. I just keep working. My days are 12 hours, 15, 16 hours. I got a lot of energy, and I enjoy the work. I think, Craig, if you enjoy your job, if you enjoy the work, time flies. If you're bored, then every day stretches out. I just have such a commitment to trying to solve problems, get people back to work, pull people together, fix things, that I feed off of that, I guess. I get an energy out of it, and I enjoy it.
Well, it's certainly an exciting year. We appreciate you coming by.
It is. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.